This is a practice video for Highland Holiday by David Giardinieri. This is the viola part, also the violin 3. And we're going to take this piece in a couple sections to talk about rhythms. And then I'm going to play all the way through it with the repeat so you have kind of a play along video. So a lot of rhythm stuff going on in your piece, in your part, but you do get some great melody moments at measure 48, in the section with the cellos at measure 61. So really focus kind of on the middle section of the piece, and the rest just have some fun and enjoy the rhythms that are taken from that bow-rond drum part. Okay, so the very beginning, 1 sharp, F sharp, we're in the key of G throughout the piece. 6/8 times, 6 beats per measure, 8th note getting the beat, but because it's fast, I'll be conducting in 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are a couple 9/8 measures in there. That will be conducted in 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's about all there is to it. A couple repeats with first and second endings that are always good. There is a solo at measure 89. Everybody's going to play that. It's just 3 little measures, and we need a lot of sound during that part. So do play the solo at measure 89. All right, you also have a lot of double stops in this part. So if it's messing you up, just play 1 note. That's totally okay. As you get the rhythms down and you feel more comfortable, feel free to add the bottom note in. But otherwise, just stick to the top notes right now. That's what I'm going to play first, and then when I do the run through, I'll do the double stops. All right, so our first rhythm here, we're going to start on our D. 1, 2, 3, rest. And then you continue with that rhythm at 9. So think long, short, rest, and long, short, and so on. The 16ths before measure 9, if that's a little fast once we get the tempo going, feel free to just play the first note, the E, and then the third note, the second up bow, the 3. So measure 8 will sound like this. But again, if you can do the 16ths, just do all of them like that. Okay, so let's go just a little bit faster. We'll take it from the beginning up to 17. And again, I'm just going to play the top note for now. 1, and ready, here we go. And keep that last note nice and short. So watch out for the bowing in measure 16, down, up, changes a little bit from measure 4. And again, once you feel comfortable, start adding in the lower strings for double stops if you like. All right, so measure 22, and going into the 9 at 37, let's do this part. Again, very similar, a lot of the stuff you just did. At 23, you've got a dotted 8th, 16th, 8th note. So we're going to count this 1, 2, 1, and then faster, like that. Same deal with these 16ths. If you want to simplify it down like you did in measure 8, that's okay. Otherwise, the full measure. So work at whatever level you're comfortable with. So let's do 22, still slow, up to 36. Here we go. Top notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when you get to the pizzicato, not a bad idea to look up at me, make sure you're cueing in on 1, 2, 1, 2, so you're plucking on the right beat. Okay, so take that whole introduction section, the first melody, and start working that faster. At 37, again, that's a 9/8, counting 3 beats per measure, 2 beats of rest at 38, and here you go now at 39. So we're back to our bows. And that rhythm, if you were in 4/4 time, it would look like the eighth note comes before the beat. But remember, we're in 6/8 time. So the rhythm at 39, 1, 2, 3. So that eighth note will come on the beat. 1, 2, and 1 and 2 and so on. So let's play 39 through the first ending. Again, you've got some dotted A16ths rhythms to worry about. Here we go. Ready? 39. 1, 2, 3. And then 2 beats rest, repeat back to 39. The second ending, so picking up into the next melody at 48. All right, so moving on now to 48, you have this with the first violin, second violins, I can't remember off the top of my head, but just study eighth notes, be careful of the C sharp accidental in 48, goes back to C natural at measure 50, and let's just go beginning of 48 to the first ending, through the first ending. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very careful about this F sharp at 54. I didn't mark that. We need to mark that in your parts. So high 3, F sharp on the C string at measure 54. Okay, so now going back a little bit, you want to work that faster and faster. But if you look at 51, it looks like there's a little smudge or like typo right before your fourth finger. That's actually supposed to be there. It's a glissando or a bend or slide. So what you're going to do at 51, slide up into that fourth finger. So start with a low 4 and then slide it up to the tape. So it's just a fun little kind of ornament, a little bit of character to build into that measure. So since this part is pretty important, let's do it one more time. Here's 48, just a little bit faster and with that slide. Here we go. And I'll take the second ending this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which is the same as the first ending other than the last note. All right, so that's a main focus for this piece. Now moving on to your melody with the song Good Christian Men Rejoice. This is the pickup to measure 61. You're with the cellos here. Watch your hook bows. There's a lot of hooking going on with your bow directions here. All right, here we go. 1, 2. And then 81, simile means same. You want to continue with that same bowing. Down, up, and down, down, up, up. Feel free to write that in if you forget how that all goes. But you just do that rhythm for a bit. Let's skip ahead to 89. This is the solo part. Again, I missed all these F sharps writing that stuff in for you guys. So opened, or fourth finger rather, to high 3. Ready, and... And then that's the same as the beginning. 96. Here's our new part. Same rhythm at first, but then you're going to be playing this little eighth note on either 3 or 6. It's kind of the equivalent of doing your offbeats in like 4/4 or 2/4 time. So let's just run this so you can kind of get the feel for it. Say rest, rest in your head, sniff, whatever you need to do, kind of count that rest out so that you don't come in early. So here's 96. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you repeat back to 96 and do that all over again. It does say non-divisi, but if again you want to play some double stops, go for it. Okay, 105. You've done this rhythm before. We don't need to go over that. At 122, you've got the same rhythm as 96, so you've got that. And then you just end on an open D and G. So not too bad. So let's go back and do a full run through at pretty close to concert tempo. Again, I'm going to do the repeats so you kind of get used to your eyes getting back and going back to those sections. Let's see how this goes. All right, here we go from the top. And again, I will be playing the double stops. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. D at the end. That's how that goes. So you do have to divise at the very last note. I'm sorry for my strings being on Okay, that's better. All right, you've got your rest. Here's 22. 1, 2. Rest, pluck. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Rest. Oh, sorry, I gotta stop. 39, did you notice? I didn't notice this right away. Play second time only. Sorry about that. So when you get to 39, rest. Do not play. Just just wait, and then follow along. Come in on the repeat, and then play the second ending. I'm sorry about that. That was totally wrong. So let's say this is the second time through. Let's do the second ending, and we'll continue on. All right, so here's your second ending. Ready? 47. And then 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2. so sorry about those out of tune strings. That was driving me crazy. Okay, so there you go. Go back, work those two melody spots like I mentioned at 48 and at 61. And otherwise, have some fun with those double stops and get used to that 6/8 beat.